What is up, brewskis?
It's been a while.
My name is Marco Dupa. And with me, as always, the great and the powerful. It's Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
What's up, brewskis?
Tonight's brew is from the Tactical Brewing Company. It is their Wolves of Belleau, a double New England IPA. And Obi's going to have a little bit more about that after the break. What's on tap for tonight? Well, you know, since we're back at the One Beer In podcast, we got to talk. I mean, it wouldn't be the One Beer In if we didn't do nerd culture. And there's nothing more nerd culture than fucking Elon Musk and literally everything that he's doing right now.
The biggest nerd in our culture, some would say.
So we're going to have to address some of that stuff. We are perennially on...
Good word.
Thank you. On Twitter. And so this directly affects us.
Sure.
And probably most of you. What else do we got?
We also have Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
A little game called Call of Duty that just dropped not too long ago.
A little game that could.
That the both of us have gone and spent money on.
That's
so
right.
we have impressions. I have the campaign impressions, whereas you have multiplayer impressions.
That's right.
So we'll cover that.
And piggybacking off of that, PlayStation has lost 2 million subscribers since announcing their new tiered online system. Strange, I think.
PS Plus, more like a PS Minus. Am I
So
right?
we're going to get into all that and maybe more, maybe not. But who knows? This is episode 371
Who can say?
of the One
Who
Beer
knows?
In podcast. I'm not going to use my finger anymore. I'm done with that. Just fucking wet
Everywhere. Zaza. Not how you drink it. Did you just snort beer?
No, luckily it just hit my nose. But why is it so full?
I don't know.
What? It's over. That's too much.
Overfilled.
It's overfilled.
Thank
for
you,
sure.
Tactical.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Get your money's worth.
Smells like Zaza.
Smells like some Zaza.
Cold 45 and 2 zigzags. Baby, that's all we need. We can go to your mom's after dark. All right. This is the One Beer In podcast, the podcast where two brews crack open a brew and see where that one brew takes us. As I said, I'm Marco Dupa. That's Adam Obesius Rodriguez. Welcome back to the show proper. How much fun did you have being in the driver's seat for a full month?
You know, I will say, it started as a burden. But by the end of it, I felt like, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I felt like I got the wheels running, you know? The wheels were turning. We were making traction. And we recovered from the burnout early on.
I would say so.
Yeah,
You know, just start. You just need to get your feet wet. You know,
I think so.
Get
the
your,
road underneath my
yeah,
feet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But once you did, you just hit the ground running.
Thank
It
you.
was
Thank
fantastic.
you. I want to say thank you to our audience. Thank you for you. Just bearing with me in my time of need and enjoying these movies with us. We hope you had a good time and hope to come back next year to do the same again.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I really feel like maybe, we should be, talk about it, but I think we should implement it more. I really think that we should maybe go to 3 episodes of One Beer In, 1 episode of One Reel In.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
See how we do.
Well, if you guys listening are into that idea as well, let us know.
Yeah.
Because we'd happily do that.
Any feedback on the on either show, but the One Reel In particular, seeing as it's something that we like to mess around with and see what we can do with it and kind of have fun with it and see what we should change, what needs to stay the same, so on and so forth.
A regularly scheduled One Reel In would be a good idea, I think. So, yeah, we'll see. We will see.
Hold on. Let's get into it, baby. Obi, tell us a little bit more about what we're drinking tonight.
Well, we have, as you so eloquently said, the Wolves of Belleau from Tactical Brewing Co. It's a double New England IPA, double dry hop with Enigma and Cashmere hops.
Ooh.
This comes in at an 8% ABV. Has really badass art.
Sick art.
Love this art.
Listen, one thing you can get out of Tactical at the very least is some sick ass art for their
they're back to back.
Yeah.
Great art. I will say a little disappointed. No cold read.
Oh, goodness gracious.
No cold read.
What are you doing?
But I did, some preliminary research here and find that the Wolves of Belleau probably refers to World War I battle, in France. So the Belleau Wood is the name of the battle. If you want to look it up, it's out there for you.
Like the TikToker?
Yeah, Belleau Wood.
Belleau Wood.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think if you do something like this, a little more, I wouldn't say obscure, but a little more thought provoking, I guess. I would just like a little cold read somewhere.
Sure.
You know?
And, maybe they have it on their website or on their social media post for it, but
maybe
couldn't find it immediately, so therefore not included here.
There you go.
Sorry.
All right. Let's get into it. We had to talk about it. If you're a follower of the show, you know that it was inevitably coming.
Yeah. Kanye West.
Black Superman.
Black Superman.
Where do we even start with this? Elon Musk.
It's a good start, yeah.
Yeah. Elon Musk. That's it for the show. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
This has been
We can now put him in a thumbnail.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all we need. Yeah.
Throw him in the thumbnail.
Start clickbaiting people.
I don't know how much we covered of what he was doing before with the purchase of
Twitter.
I don't know how much we actually covered of it. The abridged version of the story goes that just one day decided that he wanted to own Twitter and just decided, how do I go about this? And offered them $44 billion, which was roughly, 40, 50. I think the shares were at like $44 a share, $50 a share, something like that. Most people who...
Stock.
Yeah, exactly. People who are smarter than myself were like, that's a bad deal. You shouldn't do that. He's overpaying for this thing. Elon is made of money, apparently, depending on who you ask, and made the offer. The shareholders gladly accepted. They were like, fucking let's go. I already put in the down payment on my yacht. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Let's retire. How about that?
He says he once the deal goes through, or once the contracts are all signed and everything, yada yada yada, he says, no, wait a minute. I can't buy this without knowing about this bot problem. This bot problem.
Yeah.
Because
apparently part of like the agreement, the contract and signing over that exchange.
Yeah. That they would give him numbers of bots and all that.
Right.
Listen, I'm just going to give you a spoiler alert. This whole bot problem thing that he's been harping on, total bullshit. And it just makes me...
No.
It's so annoying that he hinges every argument. The verification thing is hinged on bots.
I know. Yeah.
So we'll get to that in a second. So, bot argument. Bot. Apparently, he doesn't get the information that he feels like he wanted or that he was contractually owed. So, he rescinds on the deal and says, no, I don't want to buy it anymore. They threaten to take him to court, the shareholders, because they're like, nah, motherfucker,
not so fast.
already spent that money.
Right.
You are paying us for this fucking app. Fast forward, on the day that they were supposed to go to court, he decides he's going to buy it, and then he does. So now Elon Musk, SpaceX, X.com, Boring Company,
Tesla,
former PayPal, Tesla, of course, now the owner of Twitter.com.
And sole director, apparently.
Yes, because immediately when he got in, he was like, he just went fucking scorched earth on their upper management.
Yeah.
Fired the CEO, the CFO, and then like their security, their trust security or somebody. Yeah. So he went in there and was like, I'm running the ship. Honestly, we don't have enough time on this show to really get into all the implications of everything that he's done so far. So I feel we should just put that aside unless something like major comes of that.
We have to compartmentalize this conversation because there's a lot surrounding it.
This is not the Elon Musk show.
No.
This is a segment.
Fortunately
This
not.
is a bit, and we are going to stick to that. Okay?
I mean, if we get a little bit of that money, then it could be the Elon Musk show.
Shit. You know, One Beer In sponsored by Elon Musk, I would have him sitting right in between us right now. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, say your dad jokes. It's fine.
Yeah, let that sink in.
Integrity? No.
So what we're going to do is focus on the big change that he's started so far. He's probably going to have a lot more changes to come. Sure. But the biggest thing so far is this verification process. Mm-hmm. So to anybody not in the know, on Twitter, the verification process is not, you can petition
mm-hmm.
to be verified. But the only way that you can actually be verified, years ago, they stopped the whole request to be verified thing. Twitter decides who gets verified.
Sure.
And basically, in a nutshell, you have to be someone of note, someone worth impersonating, mm-hmm. someone who you want to know if the information on that page is authentic or not. And so the way that Twitter does it is give you the little blue badge, right? So if you're a person of prominence in any field,
sure.
just be somebody who is recognizable, mm-hmm. and you don't even have to really be a quote unquote authority in any of those things. You
just
have
a public
to be
figure.
Yeah. And over the years, the verification process, or rather the blue badges, the blue ticks, whatever you want to call them, these accounts have been accused of being some people say that the blue ticks on Twitter lowered their status of being verified over the rest of us.
Right. Do you want me to give you his direct quote on this? Because it very much ties into what you're saying.
Actually, yes. Do that, please.
Okay. So directly from Elon Musk via Twitter, Twitter's current lords and peasant system for who has or doesn't have a blue check mark is bullshit. Power to the people. Blue for $8 a month. Musk, who formerly acquired Twitter last week, tweeted, and that's from Newsweek.
So, yes, as referred to here, Twitter Blue is a paid subscription service that currently is $5, and you get ad-free articles, you get, first access to new features. In some countries, you can edit your tweets or undo tweets instead of just deleting them. You can go back and change them and whatnot. So it's just like their beta project, wherein whatever new shit that they're testing, if you're a Twitter Blue member, you get access to that stuff first. It had nothing to do with verification until Elon took over and said it's going to be $20 a month, which is what he originally said, $20 a month. And what you get is Twitter Blue. You get a verified badge. You get your blue check.
Mm-hmm.
You get, all the bells and whistles that you already get with Twitter Blue. And then he hasn't really expounded on the details other than that so far.
Right.
He gets into a tiff with Stephen King, of all people.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen King says, I'm not paying $20 to be verified on this app.
Right.
And Elon goes, what about $8? And then in a matter of hours has changed the deal to $8 a month now for Twitter Blue, for your verification badge. And that is where we sit. And now we can
discuss,
pull it apart. Right?
Yeah.
That's
right. Do you think that was planned? Not necessarily that exchange, but the down pricing of it?
Yes. Unfortunately, I do think that was planned. I think he did one of those shitty sales tactics of, bumping the price up, and then pulling back and,
sure.
Look.
Suddenly it's on sale.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I do.
What a value.
People don't want to give him that credit, but I kind of, I think he did. So,
yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
So now it's $8 a month. I think the first thing that we should get out the way, if people don't realize this, especially if you're not on, because I know people who obviously aren't like on Twitter as much as we are, or as much as
I used to be one of those people.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I'm a late Twitter bloomer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's still a ton of people who don't. This has no bearing on their life whatsoever, which is that's an interesting thing in and of itself. Mm-hmm. There are people who are so hung up on what, Elon could potentially do to the app, and there are millions of people who they just could not care less. They just have no frame of reference. They have nothing. It just has no bearing on their life. I just find that really fascinating because in one sphere of pop culture or just culture, period, it's very important. Like what he does, what happens next.
I would dare to say though, and again, we're not going to touch on the other controversies that are simultaneously happening with Elon Musk and Twitter.
Yeah,
because there's a lot to go over with that. But touching lightly on that, I would rebuttal that by saying whether people are conscious or cognizant or engaged with Twitter themselves, it does still have an effect on them because it affects so many other people and thought and opinion, and it gets picked up on Fox News and other broadcasts, and that becomes the headline of the day is what Elon said on Twitter. Or what article he shared, and when it comes to things that he's talking about on Twitter already, like Ukraine or free speech or mainstream media, those things have larger implications and larger effects outside of Twitter.
That's true. You're not wrong. I hate to say it, but the implications of what he's doing in one space. Camera got weird. Sorry. The implications of what he's doing in one space do directly affect like the outside world, whether you like it or not, which is really funny too, because you're sitting there thinking like, well, I don't even have a Twitter account, so it doesn't matter to me. And
don't care.
Like, but I mean, when you turn on the news, I mean, how many times have you turned on the news and they're using Twitter polls as like legitimate news sources? It's crazy.
Yeah.
This whole thing is kind of predicated on Elon championing himself as this warrior for free speech.
Sure.
Right? And so
he's like Joe Rogan with somehow more money.
The idea that if you give everybody a blue badge, you can combat the bots and all the fake accounts.
Yeah.
Is, first of all, I don't know how that even makes any sense.
I've tried to think it out, and I think it's because he's saying that money will go to them combating it. They can put more money into security and these other things. Now, the thing that I'm not sure about is exactly how that verification will happen. I'm not sure if they even know behind the scenes how that'll be implemented. But I think that's the idea behind it, is like, if we can put more money to security on Twitter, it'll therefore be a more secure platform.
Yeah. I mean, there's other apps that have played around with the idea that verification is not a status symbol, if you will, which on Twitter it's not supposed to be either. But there's
inherently it is though, right?
It is. I mean, it is. It is what it, I mean. What do you it is.
It's a gold star on
it.
Your
It is.
account.
It really is. It like it. I would like Spotify, for instance. If you're a musician, like I am, new album coming soon. Mm-hmm. If you upload your music, you do have to verify you have to verify a lot of information, and then when you look and when you go on there, it says verified artist. Now, I'm a small time artist, working my way up, pulling myself up by my bootstraps,
making my way downtown.
But my account is verified, right?
Yeah.
And there's not this wash of bot accounts and unverified accounts on Twitter, or I'm sorry, Spotify, but the idea is all you need to do is identify yourself, and you have a verified account because you are verifying who you are as a person, right? Or that you are who you say you are. In theory, if millions and millions of people pay for Twitter Blue and we all get these blue checks now, we now are all verified accounts. But again, how does that stop? Other than what you said, like paying for Twitter Blue gives them the money to combat these bots.
True.
The other stuff that he says that you're going to get if you pay for Twitter Blue is the more alarming stuff, which is the priority in someone's timeline.
Sure.
I mean, the ad-free stuff is whatever. That's well and good.
Half the ads.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So the other thing is you still... Dude. This doesn't even go for Elon. Goes for all of this shit.
Yeah.
These companies, streaming services, and the like, who are introducing ad-supported tiers that I still have to pay for is driving me crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
How much money do you fucking people need?
More is the answer. More is always the answer.
Not even going to go on a rant because I could. Not gonna.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you get half of your articles.
Do you want me to read through his entire Twitter thread?
Well, he doesn't really. Yes, please, okay. Because it's going to give more. So I'm not misquoting the man.
Just so we have a
But
he
doesn't give a lot of. It's very vague.
And I think that's because there isn't an answer yet.
Yeah.
I think he's probably asking people to work on this right now. But anyway, according to Elon directly, again, Twitter's current lord and peasants. Oh, jeez. Okay. Twitter's current lords and peasants system for who has or who doesn't have a blue check mark is bullshit. Power to the people.
That tweet is bullshit.
Blue for $8 a month. Price adjusted by country proportionate to purchasing power parity. You will also...
hold on. What does that mean? Is he gonna base it around their GDP?
Their money worth essentially. So
okay,
yeah. You will also get priority in replies, mentions, and search, which is essential to defeat spam or scam. Ability to post long video and audio, half as many ads, and paywall bypass for publishers willing to work with us.
Willing to pay for us.
Yeah. This will also give Twitter a revenue stream to reward content creators. There will be a secondary tag below the name for someone who is a public figure, which is already the case for politicians. So I guess that's his solution
to this. But then if he does that, then what? Then he's still doing
to get those bonuses. I guess. And it's inherent that you trust a blue check mark more than you do somebody who's not, even if they have the undernamed thing.
Right now you would.
Yeah.
But if all I have to do is pay $8 a month, what is to stop me from using different emails, different phone numbers? The same way people create bot accounts now, all I have to do is pay for it. If I really want to fuck with people, like $8 a month ain't that much money.
Well, then it's funny you say that because the first featured reply to him is by Rubiu5. Goes by L Rubius.
Okay.
They're verified, apparently. All right. They said, what happens to when a random user pays $8 and charges his display name to Elon Musk using your same profile pic and starts tweeting like he's you? Verified check marks exist so people know they follow the real person.
Right.
And he replied, that already happens very frequently.
But it doesn't, though.
Yeah.
You have... what is very, if you take 2 seconds to look, you have what is very easily identified as a person posing as a thing. If they have a verification badge, they got verified because they are a public figure, right?
Yeah.
Or somebody of note. Most of the time, anybody who does that is like a comedian or something that will like tweet out as like, you know, a cookie company or something like that. Otherwise, nobody with a blue check impersonates someone else with a blue check.
I don't think so.
What he's talking about is bullshit.
Right.
That doesn't happen.
He actually... So the L Rubius says, true, but I believe that adding the verified check for everyone that pays will increase that issue. P.S. I would gladly pay $8 to have animated profile pics and banners or more customization in general, do to Twitter what you did to cars, and it will be easy.
Oh my God.
Thumbs up.
Ugh. Get his cock out of your mouth, bro.
Thumbs up, and then the emoji of the graph going up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Excuse me, I'm using my hands if you're listening.
God,
and
disgusting.
Yeah, which makes me think, like, are you a plant? You might be a plant.
To lob him a softball question.
Yeah. Elon responded by saying, if verified accounts violate terms of service, e.g. spam, scam, impersonation, they'll be suspended, but Twitter will keep their money. We will definitely add cool stuff like what you're suggesting to Twitter Blue. So, yeah, that's it for that.
I'm looking for this tweet from this person who replied to him, but I can't find it.
Yeah, I mean, he's been obviously tweeting a lot recently. A lot of it's just memes.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
what he's always done.
Yeah, true.
I retweeted it. Where is it? Maybe she deleted it. Maybe she was getting like too much fucking. Oh wait,
Was it the coffee one?
no, it was this.
The $8 coffee versus $8
No, but I hated that one too.
blue check mark?
Yeah, that one was. No, it's from this this OnlyFans account. I don't follow. I don't have an OnlyFans. I don't pay for OnlyFans,
Okay,
guys.
sure, yeah.
Seriously.
It's okay, man. Gotta support sex work. There's no shame in it. He's apparently beefing again with AOC, so that's
Yeah, I
fun
saw
too.
that. That was good.
Yeah.
He tried to dunk on her with her sweater, and it was like, hey man, not even remotely the same thing.
No.
I fucking. He just. He makes me. He's just a cringe machine.
Yeah. Sure is.
I can't find it. I'm not going to waste time trying to find this tweet, but she made a good point because she is verified, and she has an OnlyFans, and I think she might have deleted it probably because she didn't want to deal with a bunch of Elon stans blowing up her mentions,
Which probably already happened.
But anyway, basically, like, her point was like, what's stopping somebody from using like this guy said, the softball question, and then just let Elon go, don't worry about that, and he was like, you're right.
Sounds good, man.
The implication or the concern rather is real that people will do that. People have done that. People do that now, and the only thing separating somebody from doing that, like it's the blue check. I was thinking I was gonna tweet this, but then I thought, like, it goes too niche, and I'm not gonna waste my time with this. But I will waste your time on the podcast with it. Seth Rollins, professional wrestler.
Sure.
A couple months ago, he got attacked publicly on a broadcast. This guy ran from the crowd and tackled him and tried to put his paws on him.
It's more than a couple months ago.
It was a little while ago.
Yeah,
It was maybe
it was a while
closer
ago.
to a year ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago.
It was
though.
at least 6 months ago.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I would think, yeah.
All right. How many hairs are you gonna split with this?
It's amazing. I just want you to be wrong.
And what happened with this was the guy lied to by a person impersonating Seth Rollins. And this guy gave this fake account, I don't know how much money. When was it?
Literally this time last year.
Okay, so it's the anniversary of when.
close to it. It happened, I think, on the 22nd.
Okay,
Of November
Okay.
2021.
All right, so we're coming up on the anniversary of when Seth Rollins
couple months
got
ago.
attacked.
Yeah.
But the point stands. The reason that he was attacked was because this grown man, was tricked into giving his money to this fake account. Now,
he had mental issues and stuff too.
of course.
so-
And but the point that I'm trying to make is with this person in particular, a blue check probably wouldn't have made a difference.
No.
But there are millions and millions of accounts that are created every day posing as fucking Beyonce or fucking Seth Rollins or fucking Elon Musk. Yeah. Every day asking people for money. And 99.99% of people who are perpetually online understand the difference and can see when some weird account is like, sure, give me $500. I need to go on tour. There is that 0.01% of people, and I know this from experience working in call centers and working in like security and working with old people when I talk to them on the phone.
Yeah.
Who will see something like that and immediately give their money.
Not think twice.
No.
Yeah.
What the separation there is that blue check. If anybody can just impersonate, like I am wondering, and maybe all this is fluff, and maybe he has the answers. Maybe, and once he introduces this thing, it'll go off without a hitch, and it'll be very hard, near impossible, to impersonate an account without it looking fraudulent as it does now.
Sure.
But it just, the Lord peasant metaphor thing is what really drives me crazy.
Well, and first of all, I want to say that's kind of where I'm coming at this from, is like, maybe there is an answer. Maybe this will work out. You know, I'm not completely out on this idea.
Yeah.
Of course, the way he's going about it is in a complete jackhole way.
How he does everything.
I don't expect anything else from Elon Musk, but you know, whatever. You know, if he gets it done, he gets it done. Sure, I'm here for the ride, man. We'll see.
Yeah.
He has enough money to put into this thing that it could work out. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But also, you know, well, actually, what were you just saying? What point were you getting to?
That his idea that this is for security and to combat bots and all this other stuff is really just him playing into the idea that it's a status symbol. Sure. And he's trying to, you know, basically swoop in with that crowd of people who are like, go Elon, go, you're taking down the fucking elites.
Which that had reminded me, actually, looking at the replies to the AOC posts, because I'll go back to Twitter.
Yeah.
She said, LMAO at a billionaire earnestly trying to tell people sell people on the idea that free speech is actually an $8 a month subscription plan. And he replied with, your feedback is appreciated. Now pay $8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, dunked on her. So one of the responses to that I saw was, I can't find it. Anyway, I think he is very much capitalizing on his audience right now. I 100% agree. I think that he's definitely, I mean, frankly, taking advantage of these people who are like rah free speech, not understanding that like social media platform, and a lot of the people who were quote unquote canceled were canceled for good reason,
right?
And there's this fear that, mind you, I'm trying not to get into a lot of the other outside controversies from specifically the blue check mark. So very lightly, a lot of people are concerned that people who are dangerous are going to get the blue check mark and be able to continue to spread hatred, lies, misinformation, sow doubt in democracy, and all these other things that we've been trying to defeat, unfortunately, in a losing battle for the past few years now. So, going back to what you brought up initially, this could have devastating effect on the election and a lot of things coming up soon. And all that being said, I want to have hope that Elon Musk will use all the money that he's gonna get. It's gonna work. Like he's gonna get the money from people getting the $8, for the check mark.
I mean, even just his followers is enough.
And that's what I'm saying. Alone, just from his fans, which tend to, kind of swerve in the conservative direction or libertarian. You know, a lot of them are going to inherently just be like, I am sticking it to the people I don't like just by paying this $8.
Yeah.
It's going to be successful. Now, is it going to be successful in the way that he's saying it's going to be, as far as like, defeating the bots and impersonators and spammers and scammers? That's to be seen.
Yeah.
I want to be hopeful about it. I want to be able to say, sure, it could give Twitter an edge and the money and the resources they need to be profitable enough to invest in the best security, the best IT, et cetera, et cetera.
Man.
But it's real hard.
You got a lot of hope.
It's real hard. It's real hard.
I mean, is his idea that if everybody pays for a blue check, because the thing with you pay for it and then you get priority in somebody's timeline is interesting, because like if you pay for it and I don't pay for it, but we're both real people using our real accounts, everyone will see your posts first. Mm-hmm. How is that combating bots? All that is doing is, by result, suppressing my speech. If I'm not paying for, and that is what AOC's point is.
Sure.
Is that if I don't pay, how is that combating, or how is that upping free speech? How is that combating bots? If I don't pay the money, now my speech is suppressed. And people will say, well, they're not suppressing your speech. They're just hyping up these voices that have paid for the blue check. But if you hype up one person, that spot has to get taken. There's only a finite amount of space on somebody's timeline. Yeah. So if I'm looking at 10 posts,
somebody should make a place called My Space, and therefore it'll be all about my own things.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, and I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
I lost it. It was there. It's gone.
Yeah. It'll come back.
Yeah. Go on.
It's just going to be interesting to see what happens when...
I got it.
There it is.
Thank you. I think you should start talking because I don't listen. So what I was going to say was that, if the idea that Twitter is a debate about free speech or not is a misnomer to begin with. Like Twitter is a business, it's a company,
Yeah.
So therefore it's not, and this is a big controversy. This is a big conversation around social media being, a business inherently versus it being a communication outlet.
Yeah.
Should it be something that is under the First Amendment, or should it be something that is continued to be just looked at as a business in which, whoever's the stakeholder at the time, or stakeholders at the time, have ultimate say on what goes and what doesn't? Because clearly social media has become such a powerful platform for politicians, celebrities, everyone, hate groups, terrorist groups.
The only way that you would actually get free speech from a social media company is if it was a government-funded social media
platform.
Yeah,
like China.
Yeah, that's the only way to get free speech, because that is the only way in which your First Amendment rights are protected. Be honored. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because a private company doesn't have to adhere to your First Amendment rights.
Don't. Absolutely not.
Because it has nothing to do with them.
No.
So all these people who are like, I mean, that's what you want. You want something like the Department of Education. It'll just be like U.S. federally provided social media platform. It'll look like shit. It'll work like shit. But at least you'll be able to say whatever you want with zero consequences.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Truth Social. Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to deal with the fact that these are privately owned companies. I don't know, man. I think when I look at Elon's timeline and when I look at like everything that I've seen from him so far,
Yeah.
he seems like one of these kind of like social anarchist kind of guys who wants it sounds like he would and will, depending on, we'll see. But it seems like if it was all up to him, if he had nobody to answer to,
Yeah.
he would let the Milos and the Trumps and the Alex Joneses back on the platform.
Sure, yeah.
And just let everybody say whatever they want and then leave it up to the user to decide what information they will believe and will not believe, with no disclaimers, no nothing. Because when you see how he talks and the things that he subscribes to, it seems like he is against, like, for example, when Twitter does something like, I say that men are from Mars, and then there's that little disclaimer that's like, this is inaccurate, it's been disproven, yada yada. Right. If I'm a prominent
Sure.
account, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a silly metaphor, but it seems like he would rather everyone just it just be chaos, basically.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I go back and forth because I do believe in personal responsibility.
Yeah.
And I do believe that it's not hard to suss out this information. It takes one more click than some people are willing to do.
Yeah.
And if they are misinformed, that's their fault. But then I go back and I say to myself, there is a responsibility by people who run these companies to police some of that stuff and say, listen, you can believe whatever you want, but the facts are that that's not true. So if you want to believe that, I can't stop you from doing that. But what I can do is tell you that while you're in my house, this is the facts.
I'm going to correct you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think that's an apt analogy, which is like, imagine you're at a dinner table and you have that one uncle who's like, QAnon conspiracy theorist or something, or we didn't actually land on the moon and such.
Yeah.
You can accept that person. I mean, you can outright, if you're the homeowner, you can outright say, you got to go.
Yeah.
We don't want our kids exposed to this kind of stuff. Or you can say, that's nice, uncle, but you're wrong, and this is why, X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. Oh, but I still believe that. Okay, that's fine. But just so you know, underneath asterisk, dated and sourced, this is why your information is incorrect.
Or the third option is you let Uncle say whatever the fuck he wants, and then when people try to push
Good
back,
point.
you go,
Good point. Well, I mean, it again, for the last time, trying to stay out of the other controversies, but Elon himself just recently shared misinformation from an unreputable source.
Yeah.
With no, literally no backing to it.
Yeah.
Which caused, hundreds of thousands of people to like it.
And I mean, honestly, dude, we say all this stuff about, people being able to say whatever they want, free speech, this, that, and the other. And then when he does that, it's like, dude, listen, I think we all want the same thing, is people to be able to express themselves freely. But we want facts on this platform, and I think everybody wants the bots and the scam artists to be gone from the app.
Sounds good.
I think we all want the same thing, but when you do shit like that, it's like you are taking a 12-gauge shotgun to your own argument. When you share misinformation and then it gets spread like wildfire, and then you go back and delete the tweet, you can't even stand 10 toes on the shit that you posted. And then you are going to sit on top of the hill and preach to the rest of us?
Yeah.
The fuck are you doing?
Right. Well, and it's so indicative of the fact that he doesn't think he's really wrong.
Yeah.
He can't just... He didn't even post about it, saying like, hey, retraction.
Nope.
That actually didn't have any sourcing or any kind of validity to it. Instead, he just deleted it like it never happened. But the people who liked it remembered that that was true. And
that's it. And then they left, and then that was the end of it.
Yes, and then you see like the mocking costumes that have to do with that I'm sorry for being so vague. I'm trying to get into it. But yeah, you're seeing those costumes. You're seeing the footage, not footage, but the coverage, I should say, on Fox News.
Yeah.
I'm sure on all the other like extremely right-wing / alt-right websites and stuff about it. That only gave it validity.
Right.
And if you don't understand that empowers these kind of people.
One of the richest, most powerful men on the planet tweeted out a conspiracy theory and said, might be true.
Yeah.
Then deleted it. But at the it didn't matter. He'd already done it.
Look, I'm just bringing up questions here.
Just asking questions.
Just asking questions.
Just asking questions, okay? I'm not saying it's true, but I'm not saying it's not true.
Right.
It's the same fucking Joe. I was going to say Joe Budden. It's the same Joe Rogan thing of sitting there going, I'm just asking questions.
Right,
maybe it's true, maybe it's not.
Hey,
I don't know.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
I'm an idiot.
Hey, listen, don't listen to me.
Don't listen to me.
I'm an idiot.
I'm just trying to tell the truth here.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like we've said enough. We
so.
should get off of this.
Yeah.
We should get off of it.
Let's get off of it.
Let's get off on it.
Let's get off on it. All right. Let's talk about something more
betterer.
More fun.
More funner.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Call her duty. So this is the One Beer
podcast.
This is Modern Warfare 2. It's Call of Duty. They said
Modern Warfare 2 Part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah.
It's funny, we've gone full circle, and then we're just gonna
do it again.
Just gonna
Let's do it again.
So we're just gonna get Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, and we're just gonna
be
World
kinda
at
cool.
War.
Yeah.
They just redo the whole thing. What if they just had that was just their rotation?
They
would
kept
just
going.
do the Modern Warfares.
Honestly, it might work. Because what else are you gonna do? What other wars are there to do? You know?
Yeah.
You could do like a strictly a Vietnam game, sure, or like I've always tried to get a Korean War game because not enough games or media is about the Korean War.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Desert Storm, but I mean,
Desert Storm was like a day and
you just
half
be winning the entire
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Kill streak. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unless you start kind of exploring the intricacies of what these wars mean, which is
they're not going to do that.
Exactly.
No.
So once you've X'd out the fact that you're not going to have like a deep conversation about war,
they will get as deep as like Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Which
just asking questions.
Which we will get into the pros and cons of that specifically within the campaign. But that being said, continue.
It's just you're going to be hard pressed to find them. I mean, at some point, I mean, we've already hit that. We've already hit that limit of. I mean, they've made 100 World War II games, 100 World War I games, 100
Future War.
I guess they could make a Civil War game, but we'd all have to use muskets and
no. Well, I've thought about this actually, and they've gone as far as they can. Not Call of Duty specifically, but video games with their Civil War games too, actually.
Yeah.
But with Battlefield 1, you can't go further back than that.
Yeah,
because even that, like,
it was tough,
slow. It's very slow when you're coming fresh off of like future warfare and stuff like that, where you're wall running and
I mean,
sliding.
World War or Battlefield 1, if I'm not mistaken, was around the time of Advanced Warfare, which was not a very well received Call of Duty game, but at least the movement was fucking wild.
Yeah, it's very Titanfall.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then I mean, coming off of Titanfall 2, come on, man, you can't go back to you know.
Look, I'm
fucking.
Come on, Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing shoots 100 rounds a minute.
I got a flintlock. Yeah, I'll only say this once, but I really hope we get a Titanfall 3.
Dude, you could say it a fucking million times.
I just really hope we get.
I'll agree every time.
I just know that. What's the free to play game?
Apex.
Yeah, Apex Legends. I just know that's such a juggernaut for them that they'll never stop doing that.
Yeah.
I just hope they used some of that money to say, like, hey, we can do Titanfall.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I mean, there's no reason that Apex and Titanfall can't live together in harmony.
A man can dream.
Peace and harmony.
Yeah. The mechs just change the game.
There's just so much fun. There's so much fun.
We're not here to talk about Titanfall or Apex.
No.
So please, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. So here we are with Modern Warfare 2, the hotly anticipated sequel to the very well received, actually, Modern Warfare remake 2019.
Great game.
Yeah, it was good.
Great.
It was good.
Great campaign.
Mm-hmm. You'd know better than me.
Yeah.
So we're finally here. From Modern Warfare 2019, we had Vanguard and Cold War. So we even explored the Cold War. So they've literally no stone unturned.
Sure.
So we had the Cold War and we had Vanguard in between, and also obviously the juggernaut that is Warzone. So now we've got our free-to-play Battle Royale. We've got 2 games in between. We are here at the sequel of what was a very well-received come back to prominence for the Call of Duty franchise. Yeah. Because they've just kind of been middling with, weird games before this.
A couple of, like, I mean, funny to say it, but like original ideas outside of the general platform that we had, including Advanced Warfare.
Yeah,
Ghosts was another one.
Yeah.
That one didn't like so
Ghosts, well. So.
Yeah. I hear the campaign's great though.
Yeah,
I never played it, but I heard
mean,
that's great.
I fell off for a little bit. I had World at War, and then a couple of games in between that. But I mean, you got to get all the Black Ops games. You just got to do that.
Yeah.
Blackout. I won't give you a history lesson on the Battle Royale Call of Duty thing, but Blackout was sick as fuck.
Yeah.
And then they used some of that stuff into some of the games that they have out now, so on and so forth, yada, yada, yada. Here we are, Modern Warfare 2. So, first impressions of the game. Obi, you've been playing it. You beat the campaign.
I did, yeah.
So
I pre-ordered so I could get the campaign a week early.
All right.
Yeah.
So digital
version.
Give the people your impressions of the campaign.
Well, coming off of Modern Warfare 1, 2.
Modern Warfare 1, 2.
Yeah. The new Modern Warfare.
1A or 1B.
1B. No, I had my hopes up high. My expectations were pretty high because that was a very good campaign.
It's a good campaign.
Yeah.
I think I did beat that campaign. I did, because it was with Farah. And you stopped the one guy from blowing himself up in the I played that campaign.
Yeah.
And there's that one level where the guy comes in with the Juggernaut suit and you have to it's like a boss battle towards that. Yes, I did play that campaign and it was awesome. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Farrah's a great character.
Yeah.
So I came off of that really loving it and actually being surprised at myself at how much I was anticipating part 2. Mind you, we're old school cats.
Yeah.
We were around for the original Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3.
We still say things like cats.
Yeah. So these are like, they're not remakes. We're not calling them remakes because they're different, but we're getting introduced to a lot of the same characters. Part 1 is actually kind of a prequel to the original Part 1. We're getting, introduced to a lot of these characters before we knew them in the original games.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like an alternate universe type thing. But that being said, I was expecting greatness in the campaign, and what it delivered was very goodness.
Okay.
I still had a great time playing.
Very goodness.
I've seen a lot of op-eds and stuff saying that, it's a war crime simulator. True. Okay, I'm not saying it's not.
A war crime simulator.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not. In fact, there were some specific elements of the game that, like, normally I'm not concerned with in a Call of Duty game that I was like, this feels wrong.
Yeah.
But, like, not in a way that they intended it to feel, because in Modern Warfare 1, the new one.
You don't have to preface it anymore.
Okay, we're talking about the new ones. I'll say the old one if I mean the old one.
Yeah.
So for Modern Warfare 1, there were specific parts of that game that made you uncomfortable on purpose. That was like, where's the line here, guys?
Yeah.
Part 2 is not concerned with that in the slightest. It is much more bombastic. It is much more... I don't know. It sounds funny to say, but like militaristic, obviously it is, but it's not concerned with sort of those nuances. It's more like
it's not asking questions.
It's not asking as many questions. I think they attempt a couple things here and there, and the characters are very cool. The game looks incredible, like especially the cinematics, like damn near like look like real life, like incredible stuff they do there, which really helped to immerse me in the game, and even in game looks great on PS5.
Okay.
The gunplay is, as you would think, perfection. It feels so good. Nothing else feels like Call of Duty. I'm a big Battlefield guy, but still second class to how the gunplay feels in Call of Duty. And this one specifically, I'm sure you'll get into this in multiplayer, but the guns all feel much heavier. Your movement feels much more boots on the ground, and like every bullet you fire feels more consequential, which leads to you feeling more powerful in a way. You know, I've seen people start complain a little bit about like you miss the fluidity of wall running and sliding and all these things. Which I understand, but when you strip those things away, it feels much more grounded, and I won't say I prefer it, but in this game it makes sense and it feels right.
Yeah.
There's a good variety. I will say I did get a little bored from here and there, like a few times that it felt a little repetitive, specifically in the stealth sections that they have felt a little overdone, a little overplayed, but it was nice to have a switch up from the monster closets and stuff like that you're kind of used to in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
All that being said, the story is okay. The characters are great, and I would recommend it to anyone playing Call of Duty multiplayer who may not play it otherwise. It's a fun ride. It's a, decent enough story, and it sets up a part 3 that I'm excited about. So,
okay.
All in all, if we have to go bottle caps here, I'm going to give it a 4.5.
Okay. Decent.
Yeah.
That's good.
Modern Warfare 1, I would give a 5.
Okay. Yeah, I was actually trying to Google the phenomenon that modern video games, where I know that there's a word for it, and maybe you guys will figure it out while you're listening, or maybe you know what I'm talking about. But when a game proposes moral questions, but then when you get back to the gameplay aspect of the game, you can't really act on those things. So, for example, in a game like Call of Duty, if they were to ask you questions about war and what it means to be a war.
What is it good for?
You bastard.
Good God, you all.
So it asks all those questions that you just proposed.
Yeah.
But then when you get back to the actual gameplay, you are just murdering scores of people.
You know what
phenomenon I'm talking about.
Yeah. Is something dissonance or?
Yes. Yeah.
Where your actions don't line up with the gameplay.
Right.
Yeah.
An even better example is The Last of Us, which has been used in all these articles to kind of exemplify what we're talking about, which is that in the game, you're not really given a choice to not kill people. But in the story, there is a very clear moral dilemma about your actions, but they don't line up with what you're actually doing. Gameplay starts and you can just go fucking ham on everybody. So it's like, what is the real point of all of this? And can you, in a video game, really ask those kinds of questions?
Yeah.
Without debilitating the replay value or the gameplay value of the video game itself.
Right.
Are video games even the
medium for that.
to do that?
Yeah.
Right? So when it comes to Call of Duty, their games, more so than anybody else's, could ask those moral questions. There should be an option in those games, and you should get a trophy for this. Actually, this should be a secret trophy to not murder a soul.
A pacifist run.
Yeah, you should be able to do that. You should be able to, if you can, get through the whole game without killing anybody. The thing is, these games are intended for you to murder people. Like, even if you ask somebody like Neil Druckmann or...
Yeah, Druckmann.
He would tell you, like, yeah, you could do a pacifist run. And yeah, you could in Last of Us. Last of Us? That's one word. You could, but can you, though, really?
I would say, though, specifically Last of Us, that's not when you're the first one. When you're I'm saying the first one like half of the show,
because they keep remaking these fucking games. There is the Last of Us remake that
Part 1.
You need to specify.
Yeah. So with the Last of Us Part 1 or the Last of Us
Part 1,
just nothing after that.
Yeah.
The Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
I would argue that Joel isn't a character that would be a pacifist.
He isn't, right? Yes, I agree with that. He even in the cinematics they show that he's not.
In that, and it's highly hinted at the time that from when we meet him to when we meet him again. In that time, he's been an asshole. He's been a terrible guy.
Killing.
Yes,
done a lot of killing.
Yes, even unnecessarily. Like he's been the bad guy.
Yeah,
and he is the bad guy in a way.
Yeah.
So I would say that specifically in that game, that wouldn't make sense for him to have a pacifist run unless it's like an RPG in which you're trying to figure his story out.
Yeah.
You know, and you have control.
Yeah.
But The Last of Us particularly is not a game about that. It's about telling the story that Neil Druckmann and others have put
That's
together.
true. That's true. Yeah. I guess a better example would be, say, maybe a Rockstar game like Red Dead Redemption. There are a lot of moral questions that Arthur is going through about his actions and who he is as a person.
Yet you're still forced to murder.
You are forced to get through the rest of the game.
You can do it begrudgingly, or you can do it passionately.
Yeah. But you still have to do it.
You still have to do it, yeah.
And there are, like, you can't get through the game without murdering certain people. And it goes against the story that they're trying to tell slightly.
Well, and I actually think another another Naughty Dog game that fits that bill even better, which is Uncharted.
Uncharted is the best example.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
It's a very light story, generally a very light story, a swashbuckling story. Of course, he's gonna kill some people along the way, but they're all bad guys.
Maybe
they're all bad guys.
To kill him.
If he is in the shoes of an Indiana Jones style character, I would think he has to dispatch some foes. So
I guess in a moment of like life or death,
sure,
literally.
But it's never taken that way. it's very light. It's like he shoots them, they drop. Yeah, it's not like, oh, Sarah, remember me. Like Last of Us. Like Last of Us, right? Johnny, no. You just traumatize every time you shank somebody. Yeah. So with that game, I feel like it's very apparent, like, okay, the amount of people you're murdering doesn't jive with the story being told.
Right.
But because it's a video game, the mechanics and the assumption of the what game you're playing make it so you must go and kill 15 people every level.
Right.
With a grenade launcher.
Right.
Like that's part of the fun.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. That's the entire conversation, right? Why is that the fun? Murdering scores of human beings that you don't even know. By the way, I'm taking this moral high ground, but I fucking love to murder scores of people in video games.
Sure. And again, what I was talking about with the campaign, the feel of the guns and stuff, it's a power fantasy. It makes you feel powerful. I understand intellectually as an adult that war isn't that.
Right. Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
I get it. And as much as I can as a civilian who's never been to war.
Yeah.
I understand that intellectually, but to feel like a hero on the battlefield and to really feel like, when I'm carrying a shotgun in Call of Duty specifically in the campaign, but in multiplayer too, that I'm in close quarters. I whip out the shotgun and I see some unwitting, faceless foe come out the corner, and I go, I got your number, buddy.
Got your number.
Bam.
You're dead.
And you specifically in the PS5 version with the DualSense, you can feel the triggers pull differently.
You left the haptic controls on?
Of course I did.
Yeah,
of course I did.
Well, that's something we're going to have to get into.
Yeah. But, feeling the response from the controller and the trigger pull of that shotgun going off, it is such an empowering feeling to be like, I defeated that guy because I had the better weapon and I was the stronger guy.
Yeah.
And I'm a cool SAS English bruv,
SAS.
Like,
I've done my duty.
It's
my call of duty.
I've called my duty. Yeah, and that all feels so empowering and cool and good.
Yeah.
So it's an absolute like power fantasy in that way, and I understand that's not necessarily a good thing, but it feeds into our. I mean, I'll speak as an American male, but our obsession with guns and violence and power,
speed, and momentum.
Yeah. So, like, I'm not above it all. It feels good though, and in those few moments, because I'm obviously not trying to spoil anything for the campaign, because I would like you to play it. But then in the moments that I felt uncomfortable, I was like, "That's weird."
Yeah.
Like,
don't make me feel things.
But it wasn't, again, it wasn't that they set it up to feel things. It was that they thought that was the right thing to do in that story.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's not right. That's not okay.
Well, there is that clip that's gone viral of the de-escalation at the...
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. So that's gone... Yeah, so that's not really a spoiler so much as it's gone viral, so like everybody's seen that.
So you are Mexican Special Forces, which the entire storyline of the Mexican Special Forces is really cool. I really like that entire element of it. I'm glad they went away at least a little bit from the like Middle East for a bit.
Yeah.
To talk about like the border and stuff like that's a very cool idea.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. But you're playing as Mexican Special Forces, and you cross the border because you're investigating a known terrorist. So he crosses lines between the borders of the U.S. and Mexico, and you just go ahead and keep going because he's tied to our fake Al Qaeda or whatever, or ISIS, whatever. So you're literally on a foot race against this guy, and you're running from house to house and like neighborhood to neighborhood on foot in America now. I think you're in Texas or something. And in doing so, you see this guy, he ends up going into people's homes. He breaks in their homes and like runs through them to try to, break your attention of them. And so you go into those homes too. And at some points, like, there's a guy there, that the homeowner, that's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Get out of my house.
Yeah.
He has like a baseball bat or something. And in order to, it gives you the not even suggestion, but the requirement to de-escalate the situation, which is you pointing your gun.
Yeah.
Going down sights on that guy.
Yeah.
In order for him to go, whoa.
The guy's like, whoa, what the fuck?
Okay, all right.
He goes back in the house.
Relax. No, he goes back to like his room because you're in his house.
Right.
And in fact, and this is a small spoiler, but again, this is very early in the campaign. There's one part, at least in my playthrough, that you have to actually shoot a guy with a baseball bat that comes at you and starts attacking you. You have to kill him in his own house because he's a gang member or something. Yeah. He looks like a cholo, So obviously he deserves to die.
He's gonna see a guy in full like tactical gear, and he's gonna run at him with a baseball bat, like, "You get out of my house, SAS!"
Yeah. So I mean, having to aim down sight, because I was expecting you to have like a button press so you'd be like, hey, it's okay.
Right.
I'm special forces, I'm police or whatever. We're trying to find this guy. Where'd he go?
No.
You have to aim down sights.
Look right at him and
look
go,
him in the eyes.
Hey, get back in your fucking house.
Get back.
Get back in your room.
Yeah.
Get back.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Right.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. And a lot of people who were like alarmed or even outraged about that, I get it.
Yeah.
That's a fucked up thing. That's a weird mechanic.
Feels
in the game.
wrong.
Even now, even us talking about it, like it's a weird thing to put in the game. I think even the most staunch Call of Duty player, the most right wing, the most across the board, I think it would be weird to frame that as a de-escalation.
Yeah. I mean, it's just factually wrong.
Yeah.
You don't de-escalate by pointing a gun at somebody's head.
Yeah. You don't have to be a peace-loving hippie to understand that pointing a gun at someone is not a de-escalation.
It's bad tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fucked up.
Yeah. And I think they may have thought it would have softened with you being a Mexican Special Forces operative.
Soften what?
The fact that it is terrible that any kind of police or military forces running into somebody's home in America and pointing a gun at their head.
So soften it by our perception of Mexicans?
No, soften it by it not being necessarily a white cop in somebody's home.
So if it's like Mexican on anybody else,
then it's fine.
It's not as bad.
Right.
Yeah, maybe that would be even more fucked up if they're thinking like, hey, it's not a white cop pointing a gun at somebody.
Well,
so.
And that's inherently where my mind went, was like, how, like, I was trying to wrap my head around it. Like, how did they think this was a good idea? You know? And
It's poor judgment across the board.
I guess.
It's crazy that so many people have to go into like developing these games and like not one person was like, that's not a de-escalation. That is definitely escalating the violence.
Right. Well, and I don't want to come off as like I'm saying you can't put that kind of stuff in video games, but let there be consequences for it. Like,
I would, if you don't mind,
sure,
not consequences, but at least acknowledgement of your actions.
Sure.
You don't have to be punished for doing that.
Yeah.
But someone has to go, why did you do that? You know, there has to be at least someone, because not only is it not the way that things would go in real life, but like it's not realistic in that everyone would just think that that's the status quo. Like someone would be like, dude, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
So at least acknowledge that I acted on something and now I have to deal with that.
Somebody's getting sued.
Yeah. That's fine. Like, at least acknowledge that you understand that you are asking me to do something that is kind of fucked up. And, like, someone in this game needs to acknowledge how fucked up this is.
Or at least have that character try to justify it and be like, look, we had no time. We had to keep running.
Right.
This guy came at me. I had to do that.
Even a millisecond of after you have de-escalated, quote unquote, have one of the other guys with you go, hey man, what the fuck? And then you say something like,
we can't be doing that.
We don't have time to reason with these people. And then now what that does is give you a glimpse
context
into, so it gives you the guy who questions him, it gives you context for who he is as a person.
Right.
And it gives you context for the person that you're embodying. So now you're understanding the psyche of these characters more. All it does is it's a net positive to acknowledge those things.
For sure. And that shows they were completely unaware when they were writing this thing. I will say, though, generally, they're really good at writing their characters. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah.
And even sometimes where you have an option to, like, ask one thing or another. You have like 3 options that you can choose from. Yeah. Kind of like in Uncharted, actually. Uncharted 4, where you have like a few options that you can choose from. It doesn't change anything, but you get a little bit more information depending on what you ask. Their characterization's great. They clearly just dropped the ball on that specific element. Yeah. And I'm sure a few others. But anyway, I like the campaign overall. I thought it definitely worth doing, especially, you know, even if you're not necessarily a campaign player like I am. Speaking to you, Marco, I think you should play the campaign.
I will.
Yeah. There's actually even a little touch of Warzone in it, where you have freedom in like a larger map that you can go and kind of take your own way, which is fun.
All right.
They even let you put in your stupid little shields or whatever, your armor.
Yeah, armor plates.
Yeah.
All right, I'll check it out. I will give a very quick first impression of the multiplayer, because if you're a player like me, you're playing this just biding your time until Warzone 2 comes out. So most of the people, I'd say like 60 to 70% of the people who are playing multiplayer right now are just biding their time until Warzone 2 comes out. That's their baby. That's where their bread gets buttered. They know this. And so we're all just waiting for that to happen. We're all waiting to see what happens with that. And to your point about how more grounded the game feels and how boots on the ground heavy the game feels.
Yeah.
It's a very, very drastic change from Warzone 1, which is filled with techs, camera breaking moves, movement. Just movement in general is a huge thing. I mean, there's guys. J God is a streamer, famous streamer. His nickname is literally the Movement King or the Movement God. Like he is the guy. Like you watch how he plays the game and you're like, Jesus Christ, how can his fingers move this fast? It's gonna be very interesting to see.
Use a controller?
I don't know actually. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
Somebody who watches him more than I do, which
What's
is
his
to
name
say
again?
J God.
J God. Okay. I'll look him up.
I think he's mouse and keyboard. I want to say.
I would assume.
I'm going to say 90% sure he's mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as far as the multiplayer is concerned, it's really fun because it's interesting to see them kind of scale back some of that stuff and make it a little more grounded, a little heavier, a little more heft to your player. And I mean, taking away some of the like slide canceling, well, not some of it, all the slide canceling, all of the, bunny hopping, the camera breaking stuff, and making it so that you have to just meet somebody in the middle and beat them in a fight. There are already people who are upset that the game's movement has slowed significantly.
Mm-hmm.
So, as of right now, I can't tell you what the implications are, what it's going to mean for Warzone 2, because it's just too early to tell. It's just too early to tell. Once you get in the game, you get your boots on the ground, you got to figure out what these firefights mean in the grand scheme of like a massive map. We don't even know the full details of how they're going to implement, because the beta of Warzone was very interesting and very, very different from OG Warzone.
Yeah.
So we don't really know all the details. So as far as how it pertains to Warzone, I'll get back to you.
Okay.
As it pertains to just playing multiplayer, it's a little more fun than the last one because like people aren't like sliding around corners and doing all freaky weird shit and stuff like that.
Dolphin diving.
Yeah, and I can deal with that. I can. Here's the thing, man. I had to adapt to my surroundings, so I got pretty good at the slide canceling, bunny hopping, camera breaking stuff. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I had to.
Sure. That's what they all say.
It's the only way to have survived, okay? You got to get with it or get lost, man. Get
with it or get dead.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, like, if I'm going to win any of these fucking Resurgence games or Warzone games or Battle Royale, I got to get, like, these sweaty nerds who are just fucking, they got the claw. Or they got a fucking scuff controller or the PlayStation Pro or Elite, rather.
Elite.
Which is...
Wait, side note. Did you see how much the PSVR is?
No, I didn't. VR, how much is it? Oh, no, that much? Hold on, let me guess. How much was the original VR? 400?
I think it was 3. I'm
going to say they doubled it. I'm going to say 8. 8 for VR 2.
Lower?
7. 620. 650.
Lower.
500.
A little higher.
550. 525.
550.
550?
Yeah.
That's a lot still.
They have a bundle in with the Horizon.
It's a whole nother console, dog. Fuck! It's so cold.
They have a bundle in with the Horizon Zero Dawn VR game for $600.
They have a Horizon VR game?
Yeah.
Don't say it like that, like everybody just knows that information.
Idiot.
Yeah, stupid.
You stupid idiot.
Of course they do.
Anyway, it's way more than I was expecting, and
It's
I'm
too much.
very upset.
It's too much money.
Even if it was just $500, I'd be like, I guess.
That $50
The
is your
$50
sticking
really
point?
takes over the top. It really does. I know you think I'm joking, but I'm serious. That $550, it's more than the console.
Yeah, it is.
It's more than the console.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much money, dude.
I want it, but it's too much money.
Yeah. God. Yeah.
I'm upset about it. I'm really disappointed. I really am, because I was expecting it to be like $400. You know?
Yeah.
You think it's going to be less than the console that you need to attach.
You
it
would
to.
hope.
It's literally $1,050 to play VR on PlayStation, and it isn't backwards compatible.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Are you kidding me?
That's ridiculous.
Are you kidding me? It's insane.
It's a whole $550.
How are you gonna charge more than the console it needs to be attached to?
Yeah, it's a crime.
Stupid.
It's an actual crime.
Stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't be.
No. I cut off your discussion about multiplayer and Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2.
And
I apologize.
I would say it. I'll give it a. I would actually. You know what? I'll go unanimous with. I'd say 4.5.
Okay.
Also.
Yeah.
It's a fun experience. It's going to be interesting to see how. Excuse me, how it's implemented across the board.
I was gonna say we need a review once Warzone 2's out.
Yeah.
And
I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll definitely
Yeah.
come back to this. This is an ongoing review.
That's actually more of your expertise, not just multiplayer. It's more of Warzone specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. I will say, I've enjoyed multiplayer very much, and so much that I bought the Vault upgrade.
No, you didn't.
I did. I gave him $30.
Oh my god! How dare you sit here and complain about how expensive the fucking VR is, and you're giving these bastards more money than they deserve.
I need you to understand. Okay,
help me understand.
I spent all of the, the few days I had after beating the campaign, which I beat in 2 days.
Yeah,
humble brag,
nerd.
Excuse me. But once multiplayer dropped, I made it like a holiday. It felt so good. I was playing all day. I kept it going. I know you didn't like necessarily the customization for the guns.
Yeah, not a fan of the gun tree.
It's now actually almost more gun nerdy in a way, where it's based on like the receiver and platform that you have for the gun.
I don't know if you know this, but you can go into each attachment and scale.
Yeah,
that's so much.
I think they blocked that for now because it broke apparently, but they're
really?
Yeah, they're gonna put it back out. But you can fine tune your gun to however you want it to be.
That's crazy.
Too much for me, but I appreciate that it's there for nerds.
It's too much for everyone. It's like when you go into. It's like when you play a game that has like a creative player, and they're like, "We're gonna give you. You can decide what size you want your brow to."
Well,
be.
it's like Photoshop.
And like, yeah, it's like, dude, come on, man. You know, 90% of your player base is not gonna fuck around with this shit. Why are you doing this?
Look, it's there. It's there if you need it. You don't have to use it, but it's there.
But it just makes it even more confusing.
Well, you know that at some point, some nerd's gonna come out with like. Just like the creative players, where it's like, this is how you make Samuel L. Jackson. It's like they're going to do that for guns and be like, this is the ultimate gun.
Well, that's all I'm going to do as a fucking normie casual player is wait for the smarter guys to go click it this way, click it that way.
For it to trickle down to the knowledge from the gods.
Exactly. So
yeah,
I guess there's
that.
I guess there's that.
I will say, though, I disagree with you on the gun customization. I understand where you're coming from, where it's too complicated, but as a relative gun nerd myself, I like it because it makes sense. You know, like the M4 platform, you can customize that so many ways. And that makes sense. You can turn it into an LMG, or you can keep it as, the assault rifle that you want it to be, et cetera, et cetera. And that's how they're broken down. So I kind of like the idea that you can use specific guns to upgrade for other platforms of the same type. I like it. I like that. It kept me going. I realized that, I only didn't pre-order the Vault Edition because it was so much money, and I wasn't sure how good the multiplayer would be and how good the mechanics would be.
Yeah.
But once I got a couple of days playing, and I'm like, okay, the Call of Duty like pull is here.
Yeah.
I need to keep playing this. I like the gameplay loop is there, and it has me fully attached.
Yeah. They're good for that.
Yeah, I was like, okay, everything is clicking. I'm not having very many issues technically. I'm giving them the money. I'm sorry. I want the battle pass. I want to invest in this.
As a white racist redneck once said to us on our YouTube page, it's good if we disagree. We don't need to agree on everything.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
So
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, those are our first impressions of the game. The game's only been out a couple of days, so we're gonna get back to you guys first of all with the rest. If there's any updates as far as like the gun tree is concerned,
sure.
Warzone's out next week, so I will definitely give my first impressions of that. I will be jumping into that first day.
I'll dip a toe.
I'll dip a toe, just a little toe.
Yeah.
So
just
we'll have
tip.
our impressions there.
Yeah,
just the tip. All right. Last things last, we'll just give our quick impressions on this PlayStation thing.
Sure.
And then let's get out of here.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
PlayStation, Sony introduces their tiered system.
Premium, extra, and essential.
And we talked about this.
We did, yeah.
And we talked about the advantages and disadvantages. But the one thing that I don't think either one of us were ready for was the perception of this tiered system.
So much to tell Elon.
So Sony, yeah, right. Sony thinks that the reason that so many people have unsubscribed is that more people have gone outside, which makes me want to fucking slap the shit out of that guy who said that.
Somebody said to touch grass, so I think everyone's touching grass now.
It's like, what, dude?
Okay.
That's your theory? 2 million people unsubscribed because they're playing more kickball? What are you talking about?
I wish. I'd love to play kickball.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Find me a field.
No. My theory is, and you tell me if you agree or disagree, my theory is that this tiered system is confusing.
It is.
And so people thought, once it was implemented, that they were being charged more, and they said, I'd rather not pay for it at all than to pay for this convoluted tiered system. That's what I think happened.
I get the feeling this is what's happening in Netflix now. Mm-hmm. Where there's now this new advertising version.
Yeah.
Anytime that you make a tier system in which you take away or perceptively take away something from somebody, they're not going to like it.
No.
Clearly.
Right.
So, when it was just PS Plus was already indicative of you upgrading to something.
Yeah.
Now Plus isn't enough. You're not taking enough from me.
Well, that's the perception.
Right.
Because if you looked at it,
you're getting more stuff with more.
If you wanted
if you upgrade it. Yeah.
And if you didn't, you got the same shit that you always
got. Right.
So there's literally no change to your account.
Right. So it breaks down to essential, extra, and premium. Essential gives you monthly games, online multiplayer, and more. Which is what you got with PS Plus anyway.
Yeah.
Extra gives you access to a games catalog and also Ubisoft Plus Classics. So it gives you kind of a bigger game catalog, which wraps you into what was formerly PS Now, where you can stream these games.
Yeah.
That's important to remember, too. A lot of these games are stream.
Yeah.
So, take that for what you will.
Get better internet.
Yeah. And then premium is where you experience all the benefits. Enjoy all the core PlayStation Plus benefits, hundreds of games in the games catalog, as well as exclusive benefits like game trials. So, demos.
Yeah.
Cloud
demos, if you will.
Cloud streaming, which, is the PS now, yes. And the Classics catalog.
Yeah.
So...
So again,
PS Classics.
We need to reiterate. You didn't lose anything.
Right.
They introduced more options. Mm-hmm. They didn't take anything away.
But the perception is you will inherently get a lesser experience because you are on the essential platform.
And that's just simply not true.
Right.
If you look at what you were being offered on PS Plus, the games were, I'd say every 3 months you'd get a good game. The rest of the year, they were dog shit games anyway.
I would say they're fine. They're fine.
I got some classics, but for the most part, you were getting NBA 2K20 in 2022, right?
Right.
Okay? So you were getting a good game, but you weren't getting it when it was relevant.
A rare, middling indie game that you hadn't heard of before that you could play and have fun.
I've run through some arcade games where I was like, oh, sick. They put this, I mean, shit, they put fucking Rocket League was free on PS Plus.
Oh, yeah. But that was before this entire thing, so.
No, but I'm saying, okay, so, all right. So far, the games that have been on there have been, they just put Injustice 2 on there and Super Hot.
Yeah.
They put some good games on there.
Both of which are old, though.
They're old, but they've always been old. It's not like PS Plus, old but gold.
Yeah.
And it's not like PS Plus was ever giving you
many brand new games. Yeah.
No. When's the last time you got a brand new game from PS Plus?
Few and far between.
Listen, I'm not sitting here defending a fucking conglomerate multi-billion dollar company.
Sony has enough money.
Exactly. They don't need me to defend them.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is it's very interesting to see them lose 2 million subscribers due to what I believe is solely
perception. Yeah.
Which is just really funny.
Well,
it's the power of advertising and perception and, how
perceived
you present
value.
Yeah.
It's
powerful.
I'm sure they had people crunching the numbers and sort of forecasting this. So they had to have figured that the risk was worth the reward.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're sure that's going to be worth it in the end of the day.
Well, 2 million is a drop in the bucket for them, actually. The way that it was...
It sounds like a lot.
Yeah, the way that it was reported was that they lost like a quarter of their player base, but 2 million is fucking nothing. They just sold like 50 million PS5 units, so like...
Yeah, it's not much.
I think they're going to be all right.
It's not much, but, it is indicative of something, which is maybe they could have done a better job at framing this entire move.
Absolutely.
Or, sweeten the deal a little bit. Be like, you can, if you're already a PS Plus subscribee, you can jump up for less.
Yes, definitely should have sweetened the deal for us.
Yeah.
People who've been loyal to the PS Plus thing.
Get a year for $15 off.
Yeah,
something a little something, sweeten the pot a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean. According to how they've been operating and with this PSVR news, I think they're just they're feeling themselves a little too much.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get whatever they can get as quickly as possible.
I hate it.
It does.
I hate this era of PlayStation. I'm sorry.
I agree, man. I agree.
Dude,
I'm
sorry
to have a whole nother episode about this era of Sony right now.
It's feeling like the MCU
with their movies.
I don't like it.
With their, just like from front to back, their entire media push.
There's very little to celebrate.
Yeah.
So
let's not celebrate Sony. Let's actually celebrate whatever we feel like celebrating right now, because I feel like right now is time for the cheers of the week.
Yeah.
So, Obi, do you have a cheers?
My cheers of the week will go to horror movies.
All right.
Here. We spent the last month or so reviewing horror movies on this channel. But within those, I've been scouring the apps and my own DVD and Blu-ray and 4K collection. And I've just grown such an appreciation for the genre. I've already loved, I'd say about half my life I've really loved horror movies, but just the depth and breadth of what they can be in 2022, and what they can deliver, what they can try to say, what they can, kind of fall back to as far as a genre, or try to elevate themselves to something greater, it just never ceases to amaze me that this once looked down upon genre can be something that's elevated to, I mean, not getting Oscars apparently yet. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, you know, at least being talked about in a way that I think is far more congratulatory than it ever has been.
Yeah.
You know, I recently just saw Pearl, the prequel to X that I mentioned before.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. It was a great movie. Highly recommend it. So, yeah, I think I have high hopes this year and years going on that the horror genre will continue to elevate, evolve, and, I mean, continue to be kind of everything that it wants to be.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
That has always been like the promise of good horror movies, is like they seem to be, more so than any other genre of movies, open to being anything.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it can be absolute smut and still be a good time, or it
Right.
can be an A24 film that elevates something into something that is more, you know, emotional or disturbing in a deeper way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Jordan Peele, they asked him about the idea of elevated horror movies, and he was against it. He was like, I don't really subscribe to that. And he didn't really like go in.
Sure.
But I don't know. I disagree with him. Not to, like, I don't think from an elitist standpoint, but from a deeper standpoint of like making a movie that, you know, like it's like a prestige film, but it's also a horror movie. You elevate the genre, you elevate people's thinking about those things while also creeping them out or scaring them or whatever. I think it's when done well, and ironically, he does it the best now.
Yeah. Or telling a story that frankly just ends poorly.
Yeah.
For the people involved.
Yeah.
You know, like those things can turn very easily into a horror movie or horror story generally, if it's just like a story told well that ends with the bad guys winning.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And the feeling of dread is just inherent in those stories.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice. Nice. My cheers of the week is going to the Migos. Or Migos. Just Migos, not the.
It's the remake. Is the Migos.
The influential Atlanta rap group lost one of their members over the weekend. Takeoff. Actually, what's today? Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I think it was yesterday. It doesn't matter.
I think it was Monday, or maybe Tuesday early morning.
Yeah. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was late night, Monday, early Tuesday. Either way, lost them to gun violence. Whole other conversation. Don't want to bum anybody out. It's very, very sad.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. I bring them up because they're deserving of their flowers as a group. And unfortunately, this is what happens sometimes when tragedy happens. People feel like it's appropriate to give the flowers to people.
Yeah.
And, I didn't really have a reason to, other than just randomly throughout our show's lifetime. So this obviously is like a direct result of this person losing their life, tragically cut short, but I don't want it to be about the tragedy. I want it to be about the fact that Migos are, whether you as a rap fan or as a music fan like it or not, or acknowledge it or not, they are one of the most influential groups of all time. And people can't really wrap their heads around it until they start listening to modern hip-hop music and modern pop music.
Yeah.
And you will see their influence. I mean, there was an entire era where, literally everyone was doing their thing.
Yeah.
Their triplet flow, fucking, they aped their style so, literally. Jay-Z and Beyonce put out an album under the Carters, and it was basically co-written by members of Migos.
Yeah.
And it won them a Grammy.
And you can tell.
Oh, you can tell.
Yeah.
Oh, big time, you can tell.
Yeah.
pop music, most of these features from the past like 5 years, if it was a rap verse, it was just like it was either a member of Migos rapping or it was somebody rapping like one of them.
Yeah.
The most pop, I mean, literally trap music as we know it today owes a very huge debt to what Takeoff and Offset and Quavo brought to the table.
Yeah.
So whether you like trap music, modern hip hop music, whether you like Migos, all of that is a moot point to the idea that they are very influential and deserve their flowers. I was a late bloomer to the group. I was definitely still kind of like, kind of a hater.
Yeah.
And then I actually listened to Culture, and I was like, holy shit, these guys are fucking rapping. They're rapping, sir.
Yeah.
Rapping. And then Culture 2. Listen to Stir Fry and tell me that's not a fucking, it's so good. It's such a good song. They're so good, man. They're so good. Yeah. And it's very, very sad, very, very tragic. So I felt that they deserved a cheers.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's review these brewskis and get the fuck out of here.
Do it.
All right. Tonight's brew was from the Tactical Brewing Company. It was the Wolves of Belleau, a double New England IPA. Obi, what'd you think, sir?
I think it was really good. It does hit me in the back of the throat with that bitterness.
That bitterness
that I don't necessarily enjoy very much in IPAs.
Really?
Often. Yeah. I like.
Do you think that has to do with it being an imperial?
Probably. Yeah, probably. And it being in New England, like a lot of times the New England IPAs tend to have a bit more of that like bitter to the point of being like almost like a like a dangerously basic kind of like chemical feeling down in the back of your throat.
Right. Right. That haziness is just it's
which I've been meaning to talk about this, but hazy, when they usually talk about them being hazy, they tend to be slightly more fruity.
Yeah.
Whereas New England tends to be more bitter.
Right.
So with it being a double New England, I think it went just a tad over the top actually for me on the bitterness factor. But that being said, I still really enjoyed it because I'm a bitter boy.
Bitter boy.
I enjoy a nice bitter brew.
Bitter boy.
Bitter brewski.
Bitter brew.
And it wasn't over the top with the alcohol content. Thank God, after what we went through with Not So Sober October. So it's nice getting back to like a respectable but understandable range of ABV.
Yeah.
Yeah. That being said, I mean, I would recommend it again. I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
4.5.
I would recommend it, but I think it went a little bit too hard for me.
Yeah.
Personally.
What if for the next couple of weeks, obviously this week notwithstanding, we just did low ABV stuff. We
Could
just
do
did
that.
Like light ass beers.
Could
just,
do that.
Just like
keep
just
it
like
easy.
bitters and New Englands and
Yeah.
light lagers
Sessions.
and stuff. Sessions. Yeah.
I'd be into it. we need some therapy.
Yeah. We'll get both of our therapists in here.
Sure, that'd be great.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. I'd love them to talk.
Oh God. I'm gonna go with a 4. Are you writing this down?
No. My computer's off. Don't care.
It's fine. 4.5 and a 4. It's fine.
I'm joking.
Yeah, it's. I guess I would say that as far as a double New England IPA is concerned, it's not something that's so outside the box that it stands out from any other New England IPAs that I've had. But I would say that it still hits all the check marks of a decent New England IPA, especially a double IPA. It does make it a little more bitter, a little more hoppy, a little harder on the palate if you're not used to IPAs, if you don't enjoy them as much. But if you do, it's a solid choice. It's not something that's so outside the box that I say you need to get this, but I don't think it's If you're at Tactical, definitely try it. If you're anywhere else, it's like, you probably find a better New England IPA, maybe.
Sure.
I think. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
You got.
I agree.
All right. Well, you think we got it?
I know we got it.
Well, then we should probably get the fuck out of here if Obi says that we got it. This has been the One Beer In podcast for myself, Marco Dupa, for Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Yeah, buddy.
Thank you guys for listening. Drink delicious beer and have yourself a beautiful evening.
We love you.